Joining us on the line now, as he prepares to leave on a mission to India, John Tory, Mayor of Toronto. Good morning, John Tory.
Good morning, John.
I'm fairly confident that you probably have very good personal relations with people like Charles Sousa and Kathleen Wynne, but things have definitely taken a frosty turn, and you kind of put your foot down yesterday.
Yeah, well, what I try to do, just so people can be reassured, because I'd said when I was seeking this office that I would work with the other governments, and I'm doing that, and I don't let these things cause the relationship to become fractured. But I have to stand up for Toronto and say, look, if you're going to say no to road tolls, then I guess that's within your purview. But we still have the needs that would have been met by those road toll monies when it comes in particular to public transit. So we need you to step up then if you're going to say no to tolls and say you'll send us the difference. And the same with housing, where, you know, it had nothing to do with road tolls, but for decades now, really, the two governments, federal and provincial, have been withdrawing from housing. And at precisely the time when we need to be increasing supply the most because of the soaring prices, we need them to step back in. And I'm certainly confident the federal government is going to do so, starting perhaps in its budget next week. I'm less confident of the province, so I had to register that message with Mr. Sousa yesterday as well.
What kind of signals did he give you then?
Not many. He's a pretty inscrutable sort of guy. So he listened, and you know, he listened very politely, and we've known each other a long time. So, I mean, in that sense, it wasn't as if we had to sort of get to know each other, but he didn't, as finance ministers are wont to do. He sat there with this kind of, blank expression on his face because they don't give away much in the way of secrets in terms of what their plans are. He's waiting, I think, very much to see what's in the federal budget next week. My challenge to him was, whatever's in there for us, Toronto, vis-a-vis housing and transit, I want you and I expect you to match it, not just pass it through to us. I mean, that's not really doing much on their part if they just pass it through, but to match it so we can increase the supply of affordable housing and so we can get on with some of the future transit projects, which include the Scarborough East LRT, the waterfront, and the relief line. Those are the future ones. The Scarborough subway, for all the debate that's going on, it's funded. So there is no debate about funding for that. It's the future ones that are not yet funded by the other governments.
Now, you were at what I guess we could even describe as a pep rally last night in Scarborough, talking about how you want residents there to kind of up the pressure on any city councillors who've gone wobbly on the extension. But Ed Keenan in the Toronto Star asked a very interesting question. Is there a red line anywhere? Is there a price that is too much for that subway extension as that price seems to keep creeping up?
Well, I mean, he's focusing on the glass being sort of, empty, and I'm looking at it as being half full. I mean, we commissioned a report that came out and that is in front of City Council in a week and a half that talks about opportunities to save money on the cost of constructing the Scarborough subway. And that report, by the way, written by global experts, said that there were opportunities they listed up to $238 million in saving money. So, yeah, there are price pressures on subways and on all transit. They're all expensive. But in the end, the bottom line, John, is we've got to get on with building this. And what's going on at City Hall, and has gone on for some time, is that they sort of re-litigate. They have over and over again the fight about subway versus LRT, when in fact 8 times by some counts, the decision to build a subway has been made at City Council. And I'm just saying it's enough. Let's get on with it. And so I'm trying to push the price down and make sure it's done cost effectively, and we'll manage it that way. The real message I'm saying is let's get on with building transit in Scarborough because it's a dramatically underserved area in Toronto.
Well, safe travels, sir.
Thank you very much. We'll talk maybe from India.
I'd love that. Good.
Okay. Bye-bye.
John Tory, Mayor